April 25th. And I'm definitely understand better the circle of life since I became father. So I've seen my family members passing away. I've seen my family members being born. So now the circle is complete, and it's definitely something that I wish to every person that hasn't got a chance to have children, to make children. It's definitely fun. It makes sense. It's just something that we naturally need to get done.
What is the cutest thing your daughter has done? I know she's so little. What has just warmed your heart watching her?
It's well, she cannot communicate with words, but she can communicate with her eyes and smile. I think that's even if you're tired, maybe haven't slept enough, but when you look at your child's eyes, you understand that for you, little angel, I'm gonna do everything. Literally understood and said everything. And even if you're tired, but you see the smile and then you see the appreciation for some reason. I don't know what appreciation she's expressing, but it's something like, thank you for being here in my life, Dad, and being around. So it's something that gives you a lot of boost of energy.
And how is Hayden as a mom? I'm sure she's amazing.
I'm so happy to have Hayden in my life. She's the best mom I could even imagine. Actually, like my mother, she's a Leo as a sign. So my mother's a Leo too. So when I see a lot of parallels between those two, and I'm really happy that I have a child with Hayden, and that she's even developing, showing things that I haven't known before. That she's a truly amazing mom.
Where are you going to have time to plan a wedding with all this amazing stuff going on in your career?
Well, as for now, when people getting married, there's different things that are promising to each other, and I understand the promising part, but I think children is something that connects you until the end of your days, no matter what. And I think that Kaya, our daughter, has connected us forever. So that's the most amazing thing. Everything else is coming on the way, and it's something that needs to be planned and discussed on a different occasion. But as I said, the connection to the child is holding better than any marriage, I think.
Do you still hope to fight in the Rio Olympics? Is that a possibility?
That was my dream, to fight again at the Olympics 20 years later, and not just to fight to win the Olympic gold again. And I'm not ready to talk about it in particular, what it looks like, because AIBA, that's the sanctioning body of amateur sport, needs to get along with professional boxers. I heard about the rules. There's a certain amount of boxing fights and experience, and whatever the rules are. I'm not right now familiar with that, because I think it hasn't been confirmed 100% and said 100% yet. But yeah, if there is a chance, I would love to participate. Any other sport, in athletes from other sport, they can play professionally and also as amateur. And I think it's a shame for boxing that professional boxers cannot perform at Olympics.
Is there a deadline for you when you'd have to be able to know whether or not you could? A year out, 6 months out?
Well, what is the deadline? I hope not the Olympics after Rio. So that's the probably deadline. I'm going to be 45 at the next Olympics, after Rio. So I hope that things going to go cleared up in the next probably half a year, I would say. And then we'll go from there.
Where will you train for this fight?
I'll train in the same time zone, Florida.
Some people have said, that since you are so vastly popular in Germany and Russia, Switzerland, wherever you fight, that you don't need the United States. You're fighting here for the first time in 7 years. How much does it mean to you to be returning to the United States? And how important is it for the heavyweight champion of the world to be recognized as the heavyweight champion of the world in America, and not out of sight sometimes?
Well, I've been fighting in the States, I've been fighting in Europe, and world champion means you have to go around the world like Muhammad Ali done it in these days. And he's a living example. And I remember Max Schmeling, when he was alive, my brother and I met him, and he said, guys, you have to make it in the States. If you really want to make it, you have to make it in the States. But aside from what he said, it's something that we're following the lines mentioned. It's exciting to be back at the Garden. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And so we're speaking about New York, we're speaking about Garden as well. This event is going to be live on TV in over 150 countries, which makes it all happen. The rest I'm going to clarify in the ring, as you know, with my competitors, as I've done it in previous years. And it's challenging. It's something that I'm asking myself. So, am I going to be ready for this? Is, you know, you've been around for such a long time. Is that the time to go for you from the sport? Can you make it? You know, there's certain questions that I'm asking all over and over myself. But you know, this excitement about the sport and professionalism that I have is making things work out. So I'm looking forward to this challenge.
What's the biggest difference between Bryant Jennings and Chambers?
April 25th.
Biggest difference between Bryant Jennings and Eddie Chambers in their styles? What's the biggest
You
difference?
can't compare those two fighters. They're totally having different styles from the same state, but different styles. And well, I would say that Eddie Chambers came to win, and I'm expecting the same from Bryant Jennings. I think that's the similarity between those two fighters. That they're not just gotten here like Ibragimov was here in the last fight, not really want to win, but just don't want to get knocked out. And or David Haye was the same way. A lot of talk before, a lot of promising, but no delivery during the fight of the promises.
Do you think Brian is the most athletic boxer that you faced?
Well, I cannot judge right now and make judgment over Bryant Jennings. I haven't faced him yet. He does look athletic. He does look well when he performed in the ring. And I would say only after the fight I can say, was he good, was he athletic, was he conditioning good, and focus and everything, can he take punch or can't he? So I can't say it right now, but I have great respect for this guy, because the way that he carried himself in the public and in general, he's respectful, he wants to become champion. He has desire, he has a lot of energy, he's very energetic, and he's athletic. I see how he moves, so he's very energetic.
Are you going to bring any sparring partners in to assimilate his?
Well, kind of difficult to find exactly the same guys, but I will find the guys that having more or less the same style and size as Brian.
Listen, Wladimir, now Ukraine is a dangerous time. What do you feeling about this situation? You're fighting today on April 25th. It will be in this time when Ukraine is very, very dangerous time. What do you feeling about that?
That's why during the press conference I mentioned the struggle of the Ukrainian people and the aggression that came from Russia. And in the country and nation that is most peaceful itself, it's almost impossible to imagine that during the day a city can be bombarded with rockets and children and kindergarten and schools going to be hit, and the most valuable price of this geopolitical ambitions of Russia is people's life. And it's something that previously was said, brother folks, is Russia and Ukraine, just to destroy this relationship is horrible. And I think the politics needs to give an answer for that. And I think this is something that is going to be mentioned a couple of times more at the next press conference. And I think that the world needs to pay attention to what's going on. It's not just the local problem and issue in Ukraine. It's the world problem. We have sanctioned Russia. The economy, it slows down the economy, the development, the evolutionary process, if you want to say it this way. It's horrible. And nobody knows where it's going to lead to, and nobody knows what's going to be next. And it's going to be an example for, who knows, China say, Siberia is ours, or Germans going to say, part of Poland is ours, so Russia going to say part of Kazakhstan, North of Kazakhstan is ours. So there's a lot of things that could be created, and the rule that was set up for everybody and all the nations has been broken with capturing Crimea Peninsula. and annexation of Crimea, which is not acceptable. You can't do it just like that because you think it's yours. Thinking is not following the rules.